Listen up, you beautiful bastards. I'm Insipid, and this is Runescape. We're back, and we're going to have one of our nice little conversations. Welcome to the party. What are we getting into today? It's a topic that I've hit in kind of multiple ways in the past, but I wanted to reapproach it at a certain synthesis. One is the idea that it's okay to shake things up, and the other is the notion of a cost-benefit analysis. Ace man, pleasure to have you. How you doing? You looking good? We had someone else who was actually mining here before, and I was like, "Whoa, people actually hear mining! Wow, it's crazy town!" But it's okay, we're doing great. The first is just the idea that there are times where your current system stops working. Stops working as well as you need it to. Stops working as well as you want it to. And it's at that point that you are not just at liberty to, but even encouraged, I would say, to shake up your meta, shake up the paradigms you're using to get the job done. That does require, in the end, cost-benefit analysis. And I wanted to kind of point out some of the cost-benefit sizzles of the analysis variety. That you can see some costs and some you might not be aware of, and you need to make sure you're keeping those in mind in terms of how you're going to do your shakeup, your paradigm shifting. The obvious costs that come to mind for most people are time and money, in part because both are very finite at times, and level up, it's so good. Do I get anything? Level 25? Huh? I can take a spade, take your shovel. Get your shovel. Nothing? Alright, cool. Let's head on back to Faladizzle. No, that's Taverly. Yeah! Also known as Falador. So I mean, those are really easy to understand. They have a very good numeric metric to them. They are very discernible and very easy to make comparisons with the numbers. Fantastic. There are some other costs that we don't have as good of metrics for, and so we are at times reluctant to use the information we have on the matter to get the job done. Smith it. Bandwidth. Just flat out, how much can you handle at one time? If I'm right here and I'm recording for you guys, I can't be somewhere else doing something else. Maybe I'm having a conversation with somebody. Maybe I'm doing an interview. But at most, it has to be compatible with what I'm currently doing. Anytime I spend working on this, sending episodes over to Sean or editing it myself, that is time being spent and invested into the task. If I take on different tasks or more tasks that aren't compatible with this, I have exceeded my bandwidth. That can also include a person's ability to meaningfully give their attention to something. So bandwidth is two things. One's ability to act at a given time, and one's ability to, and I don't want to oversimplify this, but think. How much thinking can they do at one time? And that can be very, very different person to person. I don't expect two people with different skill sets to be able to think about particular topics in the same way or at the same speed. If I go to an accountant and I ask them about, say, taxes and what I need to make sure I'm doing as I'm building a business, and I have this income, their knowledge about taxes and keeping a balanced book and designing a budget, way outside what I know, and if they were to do it for me, they would do it way fucking faster than I ever could. That's just a different skill set. But then also, banker, and then we just go ahead and... Oh, right here. Got it. Deposit all is so good. I will get to do a lot of smithing later. It'll be a lot of fun. Let's go. Away! Come on over this way. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. I love my outfit. Gosh, anyway. Getting distracted. And so that's one end, and then the other, just for the sake of action and the ability to actually think on the matter. Unseen costs. The other, I would say, is, it's a somewhat discernible, I would call it either fucks givable, or a more appropriate and gentle way to frame it is, I would say it's a ratio of sanity and cohesion, kind of identity cohesion, and where. And I'm going to go ahead and elaborate that just a little bit. Personally, for me, I'm not going to tell anyone else this is how they live. This is my thing. That is a huge swing. I love it. Oh my god. It's... Thank you, Deep Down and Dirty Record Label, for having this awesome music available to me. Baby. Okay, sorry. Bring it down a notch. Come on, everybody. Let's be serious, shall we? And so, there's a reason that we literally have mandated breaks in our working environments. There's a reason that everyone is really busy trying to explain the importance of self-care. There's a reason that you are watching people have literal breakdowns moment to moment in life. We are almost completely at capacity for what I'm gonna, how would you put it? Wear per day, per week wear per week. I like it. Ooh, I am making this a new kind of concept for everybody. Buckle up. Wear per week. That is a kind of concept of, in a given week, you have this amount of work, you have this amount of rest, recovery, sleep, self-care, and then you have this amount of wear. Wear can be defined physically, it can be defined psychologically, emotionally, and I think emotionally is really the big one that I'm talking about here. Emotional wear per week, where you have all this good coping and recovery time. Great, you can handle all of this extra emotional intensity, all this extra emotional, fluff, and all of these extra emotional inputs, and you're like, yeah, no, I've got these great philosophies in my life. I've practiced good, de-escalation skills for myself and others. It's great. We're all very, very happy with how I am handling all of this stress. Great. Now let's say you have another person who has that same amount of emotional wear per week, but they don't have good skills. They don't have good coping skills. They don't have an emotional support network. They don't have their parents or their significant other or their family or their friends there in a meaningful way to help them cope with the stress they're experiencing per week. And so let's say you give them 3 months in a row of that level of wear per week. It could be a very temporary thing. They've got a temporary assignment with their job, so they're away from their friends and family. It's a rush quarter for their business. And multiple businesses have a rush quarter. Sometimes it's first quarter, sometimes it's the fourth quarter. Depends on what kind of financial situations are going on with there. And so many jobs, they have like Hell Month, whatever that is. And they're in the middle of that and they don't have any mechanisms around them to help them cope. It's no shock that perhaps they have exceeded their resources and therefore they have not effectively done a cost-benefit analysis for what they're going through. But I wanted to go ahead and bring that on back towards the conversation about paradigm shifts then. Let's say you're engaging in your paradigm shifting and you're making your assessment about how much time you have, how much money you have for investing, and then you start having to make those assessments of what is my available emotional capacity for this? And just being realistic with yourself. And then what is my current thinking and action capacity? How much time do I have open in my schedule? for me, it's been very, very helpful to actually fill up my schedule to make myself feel better about productivity levels and all of that. But for other people, completely filling your schedule can be very detrimental to them. And so it's always valuable to just make sure you're doing an active cost benefit assessment, and never make a big change based off of one cost benefit assessment. Always just keep it live. Keep yourself very well informed about where you're investing your resources, and that can be time, that can be money, that can be bandwidth, and then that can be the final one that I'm talking about. I call that sanity, right? Isn't that what we're talking about? How much sanity do I have left for something else right now? And if your sanity meter has gotten so low that everything has become monumental, you first and foremost, you have my sympathies. That is not an easy place to be in. Secondarily, I lament that perhaps, and it's always possible, that your circumstances do not allow you to take your emotional needs into assessment for how you're taking care of yourself. That's unfortunate, and I really hope that if some of these videos, any of these videos, are helpful, if a single one of them has helped you, I'll count my win, and I hope you count yours. Otherwise, if anyone has examples of cost-benefit analysis and then unexpected costs and benefits that they haven't taken into consideration in the past, I'd love for you guys to share them. I think I would actually love to make an episode about hidden benefits and help people kind of understand potential boons that aren't as easily measurable. In the business world, it's very, very easy to get lost in the comfortable metrics of dollar signs. It's very easy to do that in any business environment. But I hope that we can also take into account some of these other benefits that we might overlook from time to time. So I think that would be a worthwhile video to get to another time. Until then, I've got to come right on over here and say a big old thank you to these fine people. These have been making these streams and videos possible. Thank you very much. I certainly can't do it without you. Another thank you on out to Deep Down Dirty Record Labels for providing the music for these videos. Very much appreciated. And with that, it's been real. It's been fun. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Take care, everybody.